Now, if you're working with more than one colour, you need a brush for every colour that you're working with.
Okay.
I've got 3 different sizes here. Not that it's particularly important that we work 3 different sizes, but we've got them, so why not? There's also, very handy, a double-ended one. We will start, first of all, with one of the smaller brushes, and we're just going to add some highlights. We're going to add the highlights first. When I'm stenciling, you usually find that you're making lots of repeating pattern. You don't need every repeat to be the same, but you do want it to be similar. So putting the colours on in the same order is enough to give you a similar look through all of the stencil repeats. So I start with the lightest shade, work towards the darkest, that way it's nice and easy to remember which sequence the colours went on. So I will be going from yellow to green to red.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll start off with this yellow colour. So take a small amount of paint, work it into the bristles of your brush. Dry those bristles off by working the paint well into the bristles of the brush. Now we're going to apply this colour. I do it fairly randomly, really. So we've got a little bit going onto, we'll do a little bit on one of the leaves. More here onto the petals. That will just give us a little bit of variety when we go to put the next colour on top of it. So next colour, green. Work that in, just as we did before. Stir it in, dry it off. Now you can do, every time you're trying an absolutely new paint, a different colour, it is worth doing that little dab test, just to tap your brush, rub your finger over the mark, make sure it doesn't smudge.
Streak. Okay.
Yeah, I like to do that every time I'm using a new brush or a new colour of paint, because paint colours behave quite differently, even though they all may be the same make.
Okay.
Swirling my colour on here, just tickling away at the surface.
So you're choosing swirling versus the stippling, and how do you decide when to do that?
Speed, usually.
I see. Okay.
The swirling, I find, is speedier.
Okay.
If you want to add a little bit of variety, take a bit of extra colour around the edge of your shape. The extra colour doesn't go into the middle.
Okay.
It goes always on the edge. Now, very often, I would just take up my colour into the next shade, and I like colours to blend into each other. If you don't, then cut either a little piece of stencil film off the edge of your stencil, or cut a piece of paper, and you can use that as a mask.
I
So
see.
you mask off where you don't want the paint to be.
Okay.
And my hand's going to be right in the way there, so let's do it this way round.
All right. So easier
That.
than tape.
Yeah, that will mask. I tend not to do that. You know, I like the soft, organic look of the stenciling. But if that's not your thing, then that's how to mask off without using tape. So we've got our last colour. We're working this in here. Once again, we've gone back, working it off. Yes, our paper towel will become a work of art in its own right. Start on the edge, work your way into the design. Do you know it's a matter of preference as to what stroke you like? I very rarely use the stippling.
Oh,
If
I
I'm
see.
doing something that I want it to look maybe traditional, I would maybe use the stippling more so.
Okay.
It's a very pretty effect. I don't usually, the way that I'm showing you is a very speedy way of stenciling. Okay, so we're going round and round here. Bit of extra colour on the outside edge. We've got the yellow going on underneath, which is shining through this burgundy colour. And that should make it really quite nice and strong. We've got it stronger in the centre of the shapes. But something else I'm just going to do. Take a little bit more red paint there, because it's beginning to dry out. Go back to the same patch to work the paint in, dry a little bit off. I'm going to take some of that colour and blend it onto the green.
Give it a little more depth.
Yeah, it just softens the whole thing. So that really should be enough. Let's make it really strong in the center here. There we go, round and round. So if you want to build up color, you do it lightly, but in layers.
I see. Okay.
Yep, and that should give us a soft-looking flower with lots of color
that's beautiful.
going on in it. And this is dry, including that bit in the center where we just made it very strong.
And
So
I love it's sort of a glowing effect with the
that's with putting the
highlighting.
yellow underneath. So you've got something really quite colorful there just from 3 paints, 3 brushes.
beautiful.